Good evening from InvestSharp.com. This is Randy Smotung with your Wednesday, February the 9th market update. So we had a little bit of a pullback today. The Dow actually was flat, but a little bit of a pullback. We did have earnings out of Cisco and Akamai after the market closed, and they're both down about 9 to 10% in extended hours trading. So you might keep an eye on tech tomorrow. They may drag the market down, and especially drag tech down with Cisco and Akamai down so much in extended hours. We did have Whole Foods report and had a good quarter, and they're actually up over 8% in extended hours trading. So that's WFMI. So today the dollar, silver, copper, and oil were all down. Gold was flat. Light sweet crude futures were down another 23 cents to settle at $86.71 a barrel. So looking at the dollar, did have a little bit of selling volume coming in today, and as it goes a little bit lower here, not a whole lot, but a little bit, 0.42% on the ETF. Over to the West Texas point and figure intermediate crude chart here. The we're still holding, right? We haven't lost this the trend line here, and so we're still holding right around this level. Again, we need to print this 85 to go on a sell signal, so we're still not on a sell signal, and we didn't move a whole lot today. So far oil is holding up. Let's go over and take a look at the Dow. Since the Dow was the only one that finished the day positive, it was actually flat, but it was positive, up 6 points. So it was up 0.06%, 12,239. So looking okay. So these big Dow stocks certainly have been performing really well. Take a look at the S&P. So S&P, pulled back a little bit. Not much going on here. Not yet. It's not really giving me any pictures of that we're going to have a pullback. And futures are down a little bit in after hours. Mostly because the tech earnings probably, but not a whole lot. So Nasdaq was down 0.29% today, 27.89. Kind of pretty neutral buying and selling. The Russell was the weakest after it had several days of leading us. Took a little rest today, down 0.5%, down 4 points to 809. Still holding up well though. Still looks fine here. And we might start a little pullback here. We might consolidate. We'll just see what tomorrow brings. But didn't see any really heavy selling in stocks today at all. So wouldn't be too worried about that as of yet. Volume was around average, a little above average, on some of the ETFs. But we had decent volume today. It wasn't too bad. Looking at GLD, lighter volume. Just said pretty flat, little doji, didn't move much of anywhere, holding up fine as far as the gold ETF goes. Silver was a little weaker. Volume was up some, but it's got a little bit of a resistance level up here on SLV. Copper had quite a bit of volume on the sell side today. It was down 1.66%, still holding the 10-day though, so it's still holding up all right, even though selling did pick up. Euro got a nice bounce today, up 0.73%. This is the ETF FXE, all right, taking out this prior high here. And the volatility index, VIX still holding up, green today by 0.38%. So we're still holding around this support level here. We're still holding there. Take a look at the McClellan oscillator. And if it ever responds, stock charts is a little slow here after hours. All right, still very neutral, right at 10, so still roll neutral here. Not this would be overbought, this would be oversold. Take a look at the sectors. So 3 of the 16 sectors have all finished in the green. Home construction index was the leader, had the largest percent gain for the 3rd day in a row. It was up 0.69%. Gold index was the weakest, down 1.95%. So probably still keep an eye here on, take a look at this. I really like this Lennar again. Huge, move higher here. Possibly if a flag, watch for a bull flag to develop here. I mean, I would expect these home, stocks to take a little rest after they've had some quite a bit of leadership here in the last few days, higher. But like I said, Lennar's looks pretty good here on a pullback. All right, so let's go over to Chart Watch. It's pretty much the same old ones that have been moving. I mean, there's tons of stuff moving well. There's a few things pulled back, mostly commodity related. McDonald's still looks real good. Run into the 50, still there. And of course, all the ag stocks. Of course, Agrium had really good earnings, tons of volume to the upside today. It did pull back, so this candle definitely didn't close at its highs, but lots of volume there. So of course, it still looks good. CF still looking good. Pot still looking good. Monsanto still looking good. Mosaic still looking good. Intercontinental Exchange earnings had a nice breakout here. Lots of volume behind it. DirecTV, been watching it pretty closely. It still looks good. Baidu breaking higher. Ciena also breaking out with some decent volume. General Cable. Guess I need to get rid of all these lines. Huge volume. And gap up on earnings. Now it was up quite a bit, so typically, it could fill a gap, which would be a great buy if it gets back down here. But as long as it holds this low, which is about around $42, $41.97, you could use that as a stop. So it looks good. Sohu, been watching that one, still looks really good. A couple of the grocery stores, Safeway. Get rid of that. Safeway having a nice break higher here over this prior high. Put a line right about there. So it had a nice breakout today with lots of volume behind it. And Kroger taking out this previous area of some resistance here and taking it out. Didn't have as good a volume as I'd like to see, but it did move higher, and it was a breakout. Walter is around a level of support, but it's got quite a bit of volume here, as far as selling volume goes. Of course, it was down 4.6% today, so let's see where it goes from here. It could be a quick short if it loses this support level. Could get back down to the low here of around 112 possibly. It doesn't have a whole lot of support, or even down lower to maybe the 110 or so area. So let's see what Walter does here. But I think it's, especially for a longer term holding, it would be a good dip buy as it pulls back further. X, another one I'm watching. Volume kind of picking up. It's holding the 50, so it's right at the 50. So if it can hold that, might be a good buy here. It wasn't really heavy selling or anything, so we'll see where it goes from here. But it's got a nice ascending pattern. Be a great buy point possibly here if it can get back to around this level here. Southwest Energy, lots of selling today. Big sell-off, down 3.73%. But it is at a trend line, and it's bounced every time it hits. So let's see what it does this time. Here, also near the 200. This black line's a 200-day moving average. So I probably wait and buy it on a breakout above 40. Or if it can hold the trend line, you might try it. Try it here, but see what it does. And it could be a quick short if it takes out the down or the uptrend line. MCRL still holding up really good. Still looks good. Lots of volume today on that one. Some interest there. World Acceptance, talk about this one, still looks good. Been lots of volume behind it as well. DST, lots of volume here ever since earnings. Kohl's, like it. It's got good volume. Looks good. Looks like it's it's got a nice continuation pattern here. It should hopefully continue its uptrend over time. Looks good. CMI still holding up well. Still looks good. CAT still holding up well. Still looks good. UTX holding up well. Looks good. FNSR, same thing, looking good. Stryker holding up really well. Amazon, after its breakout above the downtrend line yesterday, moving even higher today, so watch possible flag or dip buy there. Manitowoc, of course, it's a huge gap up there, but it's still holding up fine. ACN, Accenture, I like tight doji string, looks really good, holding the 10-day. O'Reilly, been watching this one a lot. Still looks, it's looking good here after it broke out above this downtrend line here. Is below the 50, but still looks pretty interesting. Deere, tight doji string, looking really good. Snap-on, another string, looks real good here. And then the oil services. They're pulling back here on light volume, still stocking them. BHI looks good here. SLB still looks fine. Especially if oil can hold. I would think that these should hold. Halliburton, pull back, so watch possible bull flag entries on these, and of course the OIH itself, which there was definitely a little volume picking up here on the sell side. Wasn't down almost 2% today. So took out the 10, still got the 20. And it's been holding around the 30 or so, right? I mean, if you look here, we've been staying above the 20 or 30, and then we got lost of 20, got to the 30. So watch it down in this area, especially the trend line might be a good opportunity to go long again in the refiners. All right, economic data tomorrow. We get the weekly jobless claims at 8:30. We're going to get the nat gas at 10:30. And that's also weekly, and that's 10:30 a.m. And then we're going to get the Treasury budget, monthly Treasury budget at 2 p.m. Of course, that's all in Eastern time. And that's really all I have for today. So thanks for watching. And the point figures haven't changed on the Dow and the Nasdaq and S&P, so there's no sense to really looking at them. All right, thanks.